This episode is brought to you by 5280 Magazine. The annual 5280 brunch event is back on March 29th at Asterisk in Rhino. Enjoy a memorable Saturday afternoon jam-packed with the best of Denver brunch. Think sweet and savory menus from editor-picked brunch restaurants, a build-your-own Bloody Mary station, tasty beverages including zero-proof options, a dynamic DJ set from Mr. Groove, and so much more. A special discount is available when you purchase 4 or more tickets. Simply choose general admission at checkout and use the discount code BRUNCHCREW. Get your tickets now at 5280.com. That's 5280.com. Today on CityCast Denver, what is your toxic Colorado trait? You know, that thing you do as a Denverite that you know you shouldn't? Like hoarding multiple reusable water bottles or wearing your dirty hiking boots to a nice dinner. I sit down with 2 of my favorite fellow lifelong Colorado gals to confess our most embarrassingly mile-high-centric bad habits and respond to some hilarious ones from you, our listeners. Also, watch out, this episode has some explicit language. Today is Monday, February 24th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Comedian Kate McLachlan, half of Dictopia, just promoted at Comedy Works. Welcome back to CityCast Denver.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yay. And of course, our faithful politics and green chili correspondent, Justine Sandoval. Hello.
Yo, what's up?
So 3 Colorado gals here.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been talking about doing this show for a really long time. We've been really looking forward to it. We're going to share ours and our listeners' toxic Colorado traits. So those things that we do as Denverites and Coloradans that maybe we know we shouldn't do, but we do anyway. I thought this is kind of an entitlement exercise for me. I don't know about you guys coming up with these ideas.
It waffled between entitled and the delusional. Like, maybe I'm actually a genius.
I know. That's why I'm going to keep doing all of these things.
I have no interest in stopping any of the things I listed. So,
well, we're going to get into some. I think we could start So we asked our listeners for ideas, and we got some really good ones. And I just want to start with some of those. We got a text from Lee in the Highlands. My toxic Colorado trait, loungewear anywhere. Lee says the mall, the grocery store, even the Brown Palace. If it doesn't stretch, it doesn't make the cut. Sorry, not sorry. Shrug emoji. Stay comfy. How do you 2 feel about that?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
I feel like this is like my uniform 50% of the time is just active wear-ish.
I put on an underwire bra today because I'm going downtown. And I regret it, dude. I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Did you do the same thing?
Yes,
That's so awesome.
I also have my underwire bra on today. But it's the first time this week I put it on, so very proud of that.
I have what I call house bras, and then I have underwear bras.
Yes.
So.
Especially like during the pandemic, I was like, I will never wear a bra again. Like,
but I feel
I'm
like
never going to work in an office. I'm never putting a bra on again.
This even extends though to like going out and events, and like sometimes you'll like notice like someone's dress pants are really just Lululemon, you know?
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And like Viori's starting to just sell like wide leg trousers.
I noticed that too.
Genius. Love it.
They're the next brand that's really going to hit in Colorado for the loungewear.
Absolutely.
I'll go with one of mine. Mine is I bring a water bottle to restaurants, bars, venues, and I drink from it at the table and at the bar, and I don't care. I don't want to wait for a drink of water. I don't know. I guess that's like not the worst, but it's
my little cousin
rude.
does that, and she calls it her emotional support water bottle.
So. It's so real. I have one right here
That's
next to me.
honestly really smart. I wish I had the wherewithal to bring my water around.
I bring it. I'm like, there's been like 2 venues where they've taken it away from me, but otherwise I just bring it right in.
Colorado really does think they invented drinking water.
We do.
And I'm fine with
It's
that.
a lifestyle.
Yeah, It's a medical issue. You're like, it's dry. I get dehydrated easy. We're at a high elevation.
I'm just going to get a doctor's note for bringing it into the bar. Kate, what's one of your toxic Colorado traits?
I really do think dogs belong everywhere.
So you a dog owner?
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
You have a shared situation.
Yeah,
you have a shared custody.
In true queerness, I have a shared custody situation with my ex, who's my best friend.
But
I thought we were just listing toxic traits. I didn't know they had to do with Colorado. But yes,
I mean, that's a very Colorado one.
Kirby belongs everywhere I do. She's awesome. She makes me happy. Society benefits from her coming with me to court. And
Justine, you are a dog person through and through.
I am a dog person. I am a very proud dog mom. But, feel like I still have some limitations on where dogs should be. But dogs in court, definitely.
I think
like
that'd
dogs
be
in those
great,
situations.
dude.
The restaurant thing, I'm still a little have some lines there because of cleanliness or
we had to go and bring that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. But, but I think everywhere else, why not?
Yeah.
I saw someone walking a standard poodle through Cherry Creek Mall the other day, and I was like,
Of course.
Sure. That's
That
one
is
way to
so
do it.
funny. Of all the dogs, it's like,
It was
duh.
a very noticeable dog. Not like the lady that just pushes her tiny dog in a stroller. Are either of you guys stroller dog people?
I am,
okay,
but
I was like,
Okay, what kind of dog do you have?
I have an English bulldog. She's a rescue. I did not buy her from a breeder of rescue.
she's so cute.
She's my second rescue, and I just love them. They're the best dogs, but they don't walk so well as I get older. And we want to be active. She wants to be out. So.
They have lots of strengths, and walking and breathing are not.
Yes, exactly. Personality, but can't breathe.
Justine, let's hear one of your toxic Colorado traits.
Okay, my toxic Colorado trait is I always casually mention that I am a 5th generation Coloradan. There I go.
6th generation queen.
I gotta slip it in every conversation. I'm ordering coffee. I'm like, hi, I'm a 5th generation Coloradan. May I please have a small black coffee?
And they're like, ma'am, your card declined.
You're like, my family's been here since before this was a state.
Yeah.
So I actually get to go in front of everybody.
That goes along with my Colorado facts. I feel like, they're good to have, but I give them without
to an annoying
solicit.
degree.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, sorry, I overheard you talking, and I just wanted to let you know.
I think it's really important to do that. I think it.
I do that. I've caught myself at coffee shops over listening and being like, actually, you know what that building was before? It makes a little bit more sense if you know. And they're just like, why are you talking
I've done that
today?
to poor patrons of History Colorado when I'm there. I'm like, listen, I know you have a PhD in museum
this
studies.
isn't the full story.
I'm 6th generation.
Exactly. I was at the Rockies game, and there was a couple that were like, why do they have a dinosaur as the mascot? I'm like, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Excuse me, back in the 90s when we built this stadium, let me tell you about a little thing we found.
You want to hear some of the most obnoxious lore of mine is I was there the day Dinger hatched. And
obnoxious lore, also toxic Colorado trait.
I felt like I was saying this, and damn if I don't not bring that up every 30 seconds I'm at a Rockies game.
I'm always like, well, Excel Energy actually used to be public service, and I was in their advertisements as a kid. I don't know. It's a big deal, but so I know. As if anyone other than the two of you give a shit about that.
That's actually so exciting.
Okay, let's hear a voicemail from one of our listeners that I think all of us are going to have an opinion on. For sure.
Hi, Bree. I'm calling for the Toxic Colorado Trait Hotline. I'm going to omit my name, but I do live in Platt Park. And my toxic Colorado trait is that I smoke weed in public. I will say I'm always very thoughtful to cross the street if I see other folks, especially children. I'm never smoking around kids. That would be rude. But I am for sure walking around my neighborhood, walking down the street, smoking a joint. And that is my toxic Colorado trait. Thanks.
Smoking weed in public. How do you two feel about this?
So I was just smoking weed outside of the Psy on Saturday, and my friend was like, what the hell? There was a children's book event next door, tattered cover, and I was like, I'm not going to see the animated shorts sober like this.
Who do you think I am?
Yeah, I got defensive. So I do.
I have to say I have been this person.
Yeah, guilty. But I mean, we grew up in an era when smoking outside was the rebellious thing.
420 was a real rebellious event at the Capitol.
Instead of a gathering of the juggalos that it is now.
I also think about, I was on tour once and we were at a strip mall in Phoenix and my bandmates are rolling a joint on the ground, just outside of this bar. And I was like, guys, we're not at home.
Yeah, you got to
This
really.
is Arizona.
We got to look at a map.
And we're like, sorry. Because we're just like so used to being kind of dumb about it.
Yeah, I had a Texas experience like that. When someone's like, what are you doing? I just like, what? And they're like, this is Texas. I'm like, that's right.
Like, oh, my bad. Luckily, I got this Ziploc bag full of gummies that looks just like regular
you guys
candy.
just named two of the scariest states to like smoke outside. So that really proves just like how brainwashed we are to the culture.
Well, I feel like it was actually a lot more chill pre-legalization. Like it was just kind of this Colorado hippie thing. Like everyone, you just knew here you would smell pot. You go to concert.
It was just unspoken.
Yeah. And I feel like now they're more like stringent at the door about taking your weed away or making sure people don't
'cause they
smoke in
can.
venues. Yeah.
And there's like the structure for it.
Totally.
But I also just feel like you smell it more from people in regular. You're just like, I was at Target the other day and I was like, who
That's
smells
one of my
like
favorite-
a great blunt wrap in here?
When you just smell it out in the wild and at like Target.
Yeah.
Or,
You're like, what? Oh, I mean, I guess you probably just hit it before you came into Target.
that sounds really fun.
Honestly, truly. I was like, no, I would do that as
That
well.
does align with one of my most toxic traits where I hate stoner culture, but I smoke weed every day.
Oh my God, same. I loathe stoner culture. But I
feel like we
as a stoner, I loathe stoner culture.
But like it's different when I do it. I don't know how I can better explain it.
We're always exempt. We're exempt. I also think that we've been trying to reinvent stoner culture, and that old stoner culture just sticks so hard that we have to just deal with it and hate it and be it. And we are it. That is us.
I hate going to the dispensary.
Oh,
It's just so goofy, and it's I just want to call someone to bring me some weed.
it still feels like that scene in Half Baked when he goes into the bodega and he's just like, oh, what am I here for? I don't know. And then he pulls his pants down and shows him his ass. And they're like, oh, hey, I can't tell the rest of the joke. But like, it still feels shady to a certain degree. You're also like waiting in a small contained room with someone checking your ID. And then, I don't know, there's just something
I
about
always
it.
feel like I'm in trouble.
yeah.
Like, is there going to be a bust in here?
Yeah, I don't know. When they scan my ID, I'm like, oh, here it goes. My past.
The past that I don't have, but it's fine.
The fake past. It's like when you're driving the speed limit next to a cop and you're like, oh my God, something
I do
terrible is
that.
about to happen.
And then I remember, I'm like, oh, wait, my insurance, my tags are fine. I'm going to turn my music up.
Yeah.
Okay. Justine, what's another Colorado toxic trait you have?
Another Colorado toxic, specifically Denver toxic trait I have is I complain about gentrification nonstop, but I still eat and drink at all the new restaurants in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
How do you justify that? Does anybody call you out? I guess maybe. Do you have close friends that call you out?
Yeah,
Oh,
the bitches it drinks with you.
Yeah. I mean,
Just like, can you believe us?
It started early on because I was like, what the heck is this when all this stuff started coming in? But as the city has grown, I've also grown, and I like.
You're on Welton Street doing yoga at that river place.
I wish the audience could see your hands,
But I
like
do.
really
I've
weaving a tail.
evolved.
like,
I've grown.
I like the bodega, the old school corner store. I like bougie brunch. I want to go to bougie brunch. I want to stop at the corner store and get a blunt wrap on the way home.
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
I want a good mix.
Yeah. You're describing Cap Hill, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one neighborhood I've always wanted to live in that I never got to live in was Cap Hill. I spent a lot of time
I
in
do
Cap
feel
Hill.
like that is a quintessential Denver experience.
you have to live in-
I live there and I have an amazing loophole because I have a parking spot.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really like living my best life in Cap Hill.
Yeah, I lived at 13th and Humboldt, had a parking spot.
Oh my God.
Also, 13th, you want to watch stuff happen. That street's sometimes
Oh, yeah.
almost as Colfaxian.
I'm on,
but-
I'm on 14th and Emerson, baby.
Oh, you
I'm
see
right
it.
across the street from Charlie's.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy out there.
Well, one of mine is kind of similar. And this is actually, I had this humbling and mortifying experience where our producer, Olivia Jewel Love, was like, let me tell you the toxic traits that I think you have. And
Awesome.
one that she pointed out was, this is Olivia's words, dead naming old Denver places and refusing to call areas by their new names.
Pepsi Center for life.
I know.
Mile high.
Mile high.
Mile high.
I still refuse to call that area that some people call Rhino. Rhino, I just say 5 points or the area around Brighton Boulevard.
5 points at Al.
Yeah.
I like the area around Brighton Boulevard. You're like, I won't even let it have a new
Yeah,
name.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, is that dead naming or is that just straight up ignoring like its existence?
I'm like, I know it's a new special tax district called the Rhino Art District, but I'm just not going to acknowledge that. And that is one of my stalwart things that I just don't care. I'm going to do it. Also, I do the thing where I'm like, this used to be the whatever.
Yeah.
And I realize my mother does that because she grew up here too. When like Colorado Boulevard was basically a dirt road and she's like, it's over by the Creamery and the A&W. And I'm like, that's a Walgreens. And it's been a Walgreens for 30 years,
well, isn't
Brooke.
that so funny? When you recognize the building coming up, that's when it's last official name.
Totally.
Like
it's like whatever
and when mom
resonates
does
for
it,
you.
it's like you sound crazy.
I know, I'm like, a creamery, Mom? I mean, I know there is still a creamery on the east side, but this is like
and it's
literally
called, like
it closed.
Finch and Derrick or something.
No, there actually is an old school one, right? Curtis Park.
Yeah, Curtis Park Creamery, yeah.
Oh my God.
Even though it
yeah.
hasn't been a creamery for
Yeah.
who knows how
you
long.
know, whatever. Avanti's not a printing press.
My dad always says the viaduct.
Oh, yeah, totally. Down by the viaduct.
Yeah.
Where Wazzy Supper Club used to be.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. This one is an email from Ryan B. He says, and actually, we got 3 different emails about this specific thing. His toxic Colorado trait is the rage I feel at Texas license plates. I tamp it down, but I still feel it. We also got an eye roll every time they see a California or Texas plate. Christina goes further to say California license plates, rude, aggressive drivers. How do you guys feel about the license plate thing at this point?
This affects me greatly coming from Southwest Colorado, where all of our tourism money is California and Texas and Oklahoma.
So you're used to
And it's like a lifelong battle of resenting them, but needing their money so badly to make the community work. So it's just a real like teeth grinder.
such a conundrum
for me.
How do you feel about license plates? Is that one of those things that gets you, Justine?
It does. And it plays into the old stereotype of Californians
Yes.
are taking over Colorado. So California doesn't bother me as much because the Californians have had the slowest takeover of Colorado ever, because this is something people have been complaining about since I was a kid.
Forever.
Yeah.
But the Texans are like...
Texans move quicker.
Yes. And the one that really gets me are the Florida license plates. Oh my God.
Well said. Yes.
I'm
Those are
kind of I think Midwestern plates tend to throw me off a little bit. I'm like, Wisconsin.
Is
Why?
your producer from the Midwest based on the reaction?
She may be from
Okay.
Kansas City. You know.
Oh, shit.
And she may still have her plates. I thought that was just a funny one because, like, I kind of almost don't even know if I notice anymore, except for when someone cuts me off and then I yell, "Come on, California!"
Yes,
If I like someone and they're from Texas, I'm like, do your thing. Like, we're all one beautiful nation. And then if someone from Texas cuts me off, I'm like, you need to go
Get
away.
Fuck out of here. It's true. It's very
Cybertrucks
situational.
have replaced any license plate ire.
Oh, yes, yes. It'll
Olivia
ruin
and
my
I were
day.
just talking about this too, because it's like I will cut that person off. I will not let that person in.
Yes.
I will not let them merge. I'm like, you did this to yourself.
Certain cars have replaced specific license
Totally.
plate issues.
Totally.
The license plates thing, this could be a whole legislative issue because Colorado doesn't make you change your registration right away. Like other states, I think Texas, you have like a month.
Same with
Oh,
California
really?
too. Yeah.
But we don't. And so people will
Let
ride
it
it out
ride.
long time. And I'm like, we could be making people right away and collect their
money.
Isn't it
money.
funny based on how many vanity plates
I was
we
just going to say,
offer
we
as
have
a state?
so many vanity
Don't
plates.
you think they'd want to like showcase the collection quicker?
Yeah.
You would think.
Like, how else are we going to save the bees, guys, if we don't make people?
How are you not going to get that Pueblo chili license plate, you know? It's crazy.
Hey, I'm calling for the Toxic Colorado Trait Hotline. This is Aaron from Arvada, and when I first moved to Colorado, I was always perplexed to see these strange towers of pebbles stacked on each other. When I went hiking, I didn't know what they were, and I thought it was weird that people were building these non-natural structures for no reason. So I would kick them over. I've since then learned that they're cairns, and they serve a very important purpose. This has been Karen, Kate, and Aaron from Arvada. Don't come for me.
This episode is brought to you by Cap Management. Cap Management is a Denver-based HOA management company serving townhomes, mid-rises, and high-rises. From staffing, accounting, project management, careful reserve planning, customer service, and more, Cap serves properties that appreciate working with an engaged, proactive team with the expertise to work with the most complex properties. Many of their clients make up the skyline of our wonderful city. Cap is also the only HOA management company with a sustainability mission, dedicated to guiding HOAs and how to operate in a sustainable way, navigating ordinances like Energize Denver and Colorado's Building Performance Program. I'm just thinking about when my mom took over her HOA and got them to install those car chargers. Looking for Brooke to manage your property? Well, she's available. I'm just kidding. Cap is working to envision the future of the HOA industry, like their partnership with the University of Colorado to pilot the nation's first sustainable HOA certification framework. If your HOA is looking for help, visit capmanagement.com to learn more. That's capmanagement.com.
You've maxed out your 401k, you're contributing to an IRA, and making some other investments. You're ahead of the game and doing well. But where do you go from here? The same old story can only get you so far. If you want a new take from a new type of financial professional, we invite you to get a fresh perspective beside an agent with the backing of New York Life. Insurance, investments, retirement, and more. Visit nyl.com to learn more. Investments are offered through registered representatives of NyLife Securities, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC, a New York Life company.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Kate, do you have another toxic Colorado trait?
Oh God, so many. I think Blundstones are fancy.
What?
Blundstones, if they are not scuffed enough, can be worn with a suit. And
Is this a type of shoe?
Yes.
Okay.
You will recognize it immediately. It's
Okay.
like how would you describe? It's like a slip-on boot.
Okay. So this is like
I
one
think
of
someone's
those
pulling it up
Colorado
right now.
footwear.
Colorado footwear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those are gay. Yeah, I see it.
Well,
I see it a little bit.
but straight boys can wear them with suits too.
You think? I mean, you know what? Okay,
I
think-
saw
you know
them
what,
at a
Justine,
professional
I'm
meeting
all-
the other day.
Justine, I would say you're the person that sees the most professional.
Yeah, that's
dressed
true.
people
Like
of
here
the-
we are
okay.
arguing because I was like, I wore a bra. So let's get
But
your input.
You see politicians
Yes.
and people in the political sphere.
I did see somebody in a professional space in the last few weeks, a woman wearing them with tights and a dress. And it looked
Okay.
really cute. She fit into the professional
If
space.
you
It
think
works.
Hickenlooper doesn't wear those to town halls, you're out of your goddamn mind, okay?
So they do kind of fit into the new style quintessential. Am I comfortable? Can I hike or do something outdoorsy after I go to this cocktail hour?
Peruse through a little slush and make it out alive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It will go with your casual flannel and your dress up fancy flannels.
Or your puffy coat, whatever
I've
your
seen
fancy puffy coat
I've
is.
seen many a dress tight Blundstone.
Now I'm going to see these everywhere. I know it's one of
It's
those
like
things
that.
where I'm going to see them everywhere.
Exactly.
Justine, what have you got?
Okay. I've got so many.
I know, I have so many.
This is the one that I still have been falling victim to most lately, is thinking I can get anywhere on I-25 or I-70 in 10 or 15 minutes anymore.
Girl.
I'm like, just jump on the highway.
This has not been true for 10 or 15
Let's go to
years
Park
now.
Meadows. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Nobody will be on I-25. It's a bowling alley. It's empty. There's nothing on there. But that is not true.
No, I used to leave for class on Auraria campus in the early 2000s from North Denver and go across the bridge and could get to park and into class in 10 minutes from leaving my house.
Isn't that crazy?
No, never.
That's like the parking lot now.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Ugh.
I I have one similar, I think, in that I refuse to go on like Colorado Boulevard. I refuse to go any way that Google Maps is telling you because I have a little back way that I go that I like better that probably takes 10 minutes longer. But I am going to go the back way behind Meow Wolf by the old Elitch's Human Resources building to get to downtown. I am not going to drive down Colfax or 6th Avenue like a normal person.
I'm kind of a spear truther with getting downtown.
It depends on the time of day. It can be a real mess.
Compared to I-25, the stoplights, I think, keep
it's the
structure in this society.
Yeah, and the feeling like you're moving a little bit is
the psychology
the illusion
of it.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you get a timed break at the light, so you can like look around the car and stuff. Not like when you stop and
you
go.
have
and
visual
stop and go.
cues of when you're moving. We're describing why we like stoplights.
Yes, and we're all terrible drivers doing something else while we're driving.
That's a toxic trait. Thinking everybody's a bad driver when you're also a shitty driver.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone who moves here is a bad driver.
I know. I'm like, do you never seen a double turn? What are you doing?
I don't know if it's a toxic Colorado trait, but I drive a stick.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I am really on a high horse about it.
Well, because not that many people drive sticks anymore. I had to learn on a stick. I used to drive a 73 Volkswagen Bug. I could eat a burrito,
tight.
Smoke a cigarette, and drive stick at the same time.
It's also worth mentioning that Bree's an octopus. So
different times. No one was on the road in 2001.
There was no traffic.
Yeah, there was no traffic. So Bree had 3 arms. And
I also have been told I have secret parking spots around the city.
Tight.
I don't like to pay for parking because I'm entitled and I've lived here long enough that I was here before that was just a parking lot that nobody was ever in. So I have secret spots at downtown, Cherry Creek Mall. I got my spot.
Yeah.
I got a spot by the Pepsi Center. I don't pay for parking. But that's just my weird entitlement thing, I think. Kate, what about you? What's another one?
I'm so critical when anyone mentions driving in the snow being difficult. But the minute it rains like hard, I can't do shit. I am so.
I also think we're very critical, and then we point and laugh at people because they were trying to go too fast, and then they slid. You know, the annual someone's in the Cherry Creek, driven their car into the Cherry Creek.
I know.
We're like,
but,
wow, if you knew how to drive in the snow,
but I
maybe you'd
remember
know.
visiting a friend in the Bay Area and being so scared to drive in the rain, and
It
they were
is
like,
different.
"What?"
It is different. It's different.
Exactly.
It takes a different skill set.
I can't see in the rain at all. Like snow, I feel like you have some visual on the road.
I love that no one was like, that's a toxic trait. Everyone's like, you're right.
You're right. It's hard
I
to
think
drive
we
in
all
the rain.
can too. All of us will also pretend like we didn't get that much rain before. You know, growing up here, the weather was different.
Even
we
though
knew
it's
how
like
to do it. And it's like
hail all the time. Like it's weather all the time.
Justine, you have another one?
Okay, let's see. Oh, this one is one I always do. But going to the Rockies game and then not knowing who won because I didn't really watch the game. I walked around and
That's not a
went to the
toxic
outfield
trait.
bar.
That's having fun.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, did we win? Of course we didn't.
Yeah.
But
also, I think you know the answer. Like, we did not win.
I do a princess visit where I go for a couple innings and I get a hot dog and then I cruise out of there before everybody leaves so I don't have to deal with
What
the
sounds
crowd.
more fun, getting a sunburn and learning how baseball works, or getting drunk on the deck and telling people I was at the game where Dinger was born? Like,
You choose.
you tell me.
that's the whole experience, right? Going out.
I mean, I think
drinking in the outfield.
the Montforts would agree with us. They run it as the
I know.
downtown's best
As the
bar. They
cheapest
could
bar in
give a
town.
shit about the team.
It's so tight.
I know it is. It's not a bad price. Go in. You can get like $5 tickets, $1 tickets. Watch the sunset. Drink a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's so tight.
Kate, what else? What are some other ones we didn't talk to?
When people are cold, they annoy me, but when I'm hot, I feel like no one understands.
Like, God, it's so hot in here.
And when no one gives a shit, I'm like, have some humanity. But when people are cold, I'm like,
Suck
wear
it
a
up.
jacket, dude.
Layer up.
Yeah, first rule. How did you not know? Carry a jacket in your car, dummy. Doesn't matter if it's the middle of summer.
But I turn into like a Les Mis character when I'm hot. Just like, can't do it.
Justine, you have any more?
I refuse to call it Den. It'll always be DIA.
That was a rebrand, or I feel like that's a thing.
I didn't
they've been-
even know Maybe
They keep trying to
I've got
do
great
it.
friends because none of them call it that.
Yeah, it's because it's the airport code. So they're
Yes.
trying to rebrand to the airport code, which is DEN.
I always type DIA and it brings you DEN anyway, like on Orbitz or whatever.
yeah.
A DEN is a basement. I'm not going to call it that.
Another one. I want the dumpsters back. I don't care. We used to have dumpsters in Denver. It was crazy.
What our alleys were for,
It
baby.
was a time.
It was.
Yeah, there
You
was
could
all kinds of
literally
stuff
put
going
a
on.
couch in there.
But yes, that was the problem is people were dumping like crazy. But I really hate taking the trash cans out. And then downtown, the streets are narrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't even light the new ones on fire. So it's
Yeah.
like, what's the point?
What do you do? What do you do?
Dumpsters back.
Any more, Kate?
Yeah, when people buy hand warmers, I'm like judgmental.
I have to be a little defensive of this because my brother is a postman and he's like, it's -2 outside. I'm like, I guess you can.
This is a knowingly toxic trait of mine that I.
Someone pulls them out, you're like, loser. You're like, good luck.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're in the mountains. Are you too cold?
Yeah,
Are you too
but
cold?
this is the one that I know I'm wrong. Everything else I've said,
You're right.
I'm like really right. That one, not my fave.
Any more, Justine?
Let's see. I voted no on legal weed despite consuming legal weed constantly.
You did
Wait, what was your rationale?
Wow. I didn't want it to be
I know
another.
there's a rationale here.
Yes. I knew
those
it was gonna-
kids,
Yeah.
dude.
I know you're an extremely educated voter. That's why I'm asking.
It was. This is one of my only like protest votes. I knew it was going to pass. I really felt like it was going to pass. It was going to make a difference. But I had all of these issues with it being like another white male dominated industry, and I felt like there was
Luckily,
some
it
things-
didn't turn out that way.
I know. It's great. And all of the people
not owned
out
by
of
5 major
prison
corporate-
who
yeah.
were once convicted of weed crimes. So, yeah, I had my personal issues that way. I did want it to happen and it was going to happen, but my little quiet
It was your protest vote.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
love
was
that.
like, I voted no.
I feel you.
Yeah, that makes me like you more. That makes sense. Yeah.
That's a stance. It's
Absolutely.
an educated stance. Well, let's close this out. Kate, do you have one more?
Yes. I am so white and have so many opinions about green chili and Mexican food. My last name is McLachlan. I'm covered in moles. And
Catherine.
Catherine Jean McLachlan. And it's spelled with a Y too. It's like the trashy Irish way. And I am still just like so judgmental of everyone's green chili.
I know, if
and I
someone
really
mentions a
know what
restaurant-
ingredients are missing. And it's just insufferable.
Spice level, consistency. Justine, you are our green chili correspondent.
That's one thing I love about Colorado. You know, I grew up on the north side with lots of Irish, Italian kids that love green chili
This
and
girl
no
has a-
good green
You have a
chili.
steel stomach for chilies, or for chubbies too, excuse me.
Yes,
And
yes.
I cannot.
One of my
Chubbies.
toxic traits is defending chubbies all the time.
No, dude, Chubby's is awesome. I went there on my birthday last month.
I mean, yeah.
I love
is
Chubby's,
delicious.
dude.
But yeah, the green, I love that. And I love that it's like a regional thing. It's like beyond like culture. It's like Colorado culture.
It is Colorado
Yeah.
culture. I think that's why we really hold on to it. Because
Yeah.
I feel the same way. If
It's
someone
ours.
mentions a restaurant where I think that green chili is subpar, I'm like, ooh,
You're
you
gonna
wanna-
hear about
You
it.
want to go there? I don't know. Not going to name any names, but well, this was so fun. I think we hit on some major ones. Obviously, weather, green chili, the Dinger story. Oh my God.
And you know what? I came out of this liking us more.
I'm enjoying
Toxic.
our mutual entitlements are amazing. Our toxic traits are lovely.
I'm
Yeah.
not changing.
Can't stress that enough, guys. It's different when we do it.
Just like my driving.
Well, Kate and Justine, thank you both so much.
Thank you for having me. I love you guys.
Hi, CityCast. It's Danielle from Two Creeks, and I'm calling in with my toxic Denver trait, which is correcting people when they mispronounce Buena Vista. I have been in many heated arguments with people who insist on pronouncing it Buena Vista or some variation of that. But I believe that if the locals tell us that it's Buena Vista, then we should honor and respect that. So I do. But if I'm around somebody who is consistently saying Buena Vista, I'm going to have to call them out and let them know that the correct way is Buena Vista.
And what about you?
We know there are still some toxic Colorado traits out there waiting to be confessed. Give us a call on the Mile High Bad Habits hotline at 720-500-5418. That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell your friend with their own toxic Colorado traits about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. And if you love the show, come see us in person at Heyday, an indoor fair with a distinctly Denver twist, on Saturday, March 8th. Get your tickets now at heydaydenver.com. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See you later. I don't have any more. I think we're good. These were great.
I think we've toxiced out.
No, really, just laid it all out there.